Hey y'all, it's your girl Wisdom. Uh, Let me steady myself because this was an experience. Like, it wasn't all bad, but it did show me how not ready we are. No, things that none of us have thought about. Like I thought I was a prepper. I thought I was ready. I thought I was getting ready, but after this experience, there's a lot of things we never thought about. Okay. So let me just tell y'all the story. That's the only way I'm going. Hey, Linda B. Ooh, let me keep it all together. That's the only way I can keep it together is to tell y'all the story. So right after I unplugged the modem, phone was gone. Like from the moment I unplugged the modem. Oh, well, let me back up. So in my last video, I was gonna go, which I did it. I completed it, okay? But I went from sundown to sundown with no internet, electricity. I had a light, like a lamp like this, but that was it, right? So no telephone, everything was turned off, and not just turned off, unplugged from the wall, right? And the goal was to go the entire Sabbath, from Friday night to now, without any outside communication, without talking, period, trying not to talk, period. I had to speak, don't get me wrong, because I got the dogs, and HB gave me two more chickens. I got a rooster and another hen. So now I got five. I got two roosters and three hens. So yeah, so I did have to speak, but it was interesting. Okay, so let's stay on track by just telling y'all the story. Okay, so as soon as I unplugged the internet, the phone, everything was gone. Okay, at that point, man, the Bible says it, but I also went wild because I went to the Dollar Tree like the day before, right? And I got one of those eucalyptus salt bath thingies, you know what I mean? So I took a salt bath, it was just like a eucalyptus, it was really nice. It was really nice, which it says in the Bible to do a ritual bathing before you do something like that, right? So then after that, like I was like, that was great. Oh, and my favorite movie as a book was Mysteriously Here. No, for real, for real. Where is it? Where is it? It's in the front. I'm not gonna walk to the front right now, but my son had to read it in high school. And when I left Cleveland, it just felt like an atrocity to leave behind any books. So it got his name in the front of it, but it's Their Eyes Were Watching God. Now, I hate the book. I hate the book. I don't care what nobody say, that book's horrible. But the movie's great. You know what I mean? The movie's great. So I started reading the book. Now, listen to this, y'all. I'm reading the book. This is something we're not ready for. Like I said, I'm about to tell y'all things that we aren't ready for. Okay? Holding the book. We ain't ready. Get your wrist right. Get your wrist right. Because think about it. Hold up. No, I got to get the book so y'all can understand. No, because you don't understand. Like, we're used to holding telephones. We used to having holders for our telephones, stands for our telephones. When you turn the page, you just use one finger and you swipe. Move, dog. And you swipe. But think about trying to read a book, holding the book the entire time and keeping the I know you're all like, I cannot believe her, but this is true. This is something we're not ready for. We have to practice holding books again, because yeah, no, that is really rough on your wrist if your wrist ain't ready for such a thing. Hold up, I'm about to take both of these books that I was reading. Stay with me, but I'm telling the truth. Y'all know that's the only thing you're gonna get from me is the truth. Okay. So, I come into the bedroom and I start to read the book. Right? Here's the book. All right? That's how thick the book is. Right? Remember I said my son's name was in the front of the book. Right? So, but he had read the book that is my favorite movie. It's not a good book. But tell you the truth, it's not a good book. But picture this. You holding it like this, and there's no other sound. No, there's no option other than holding the book. You know I'm telling you the truth. There's no other option because you can't turn on TV. You can't pick up your phone. There's no other option. Now look, your thumb get tired. I gotta tell y'all the truth. We ain't ready. You ain't thought about this. This how spoiled we been. Is that we ain't thought about this. And then wait. Now, what happens when you want to read this page? What happens when you want to read that page? Oh, that page is the worst. That's the worst page. So we didn't we didn't innovate with good holders for a book. So I'm gonna give you a little key here. Is lay the book flat. So like even if you laying on your side, like this, make sure you lay the book flat. Cause trust me, your thumb gonna get real tired any other way. You're gonna hate reading the book. So I'm just trying to help you out. Get you ready here. All right, next. But then it became times when I was tired of reading the book, right? So it was literally like, don't get me wrong, I'm reading the Bible too amidst all this, but the name of this is Their Eyes Were Watching God. And everything she went through, I feel like I've went through, you know? So anyways, um, there was times when I was tired of reading, right? Because like that's continuous, right? So I would sit here. Let me tell you something else. When electricity goes out, music goes away. Oh, that's something we didn't think about. No, it goes away. Unless you got a wind up big microphone thingy, it's gone. Unless you got records with that has electricity to them or got that microphone thingy on and music is disappear. I'ma tell y'all, I know this sound bad, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Come on now. I'm so happy to be here with y'all. But can I be me? God said I could be me. I want to tell y'all the truth. The only thing that the closest I saw to music was smoke dancing in the sunlight. That was the closest I could get to music. I'm a smoker. I smoke cigarettes, right? So I'm smoking. And that's the closest thing I could see to music. It was so beautiful, though. It really was. It was like, oh, I wish I could, like any music or sound. Now I see why on stuff like Walking Dead, when they sit around the campfire singing, why that person that can sing matter. Y'all start singing. Like, work on your singing, you know? I'm going to tell you that because it was complete silence. It was, here's another one that happened. That's true. So then after that, like I said, I would sit there for some time. Now, mind you, there was a lot of worship going on. Don't get me wrong. It's like I said, I just want to tell y'all this is about the things we ain't thought about, as it relates to the electricity going out. You know what I mean? So I want y'all to know there was a lot of worship going on too. But we're talking 24 hours. Just one of them. Like, no, you got to mix it up throughout the day. You can't just worship all day long. Don't get me wrong, you could. I have, but that's not realistic. So you got to do different things. You got to read your favorite book. You got to read the Bible. You got to have some worship time. And I'll tell you this, God showed me that like the old Negro spirituals, you know what I mean? Like the oh Lord, help me, Lord, so I stand. Help me, Lord. That came from somewhere. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all that's where it came from. Cause I'm telling you, that was the only way I could get anything done. Because when you like, and I wasn't working or nothing. I'm just saying anything, anything. Because in our normal lives, when you about to clean up or when you about to get in the mood to paint or do a puzzle or what do? You turn on some music, you turn on the TV and let that be in the background while you do the other thing. When there is no background, this is the background. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. So I stand. Help me, Lord. That's literally what I've done for the past 24 hours is said that. But I'll tell you this. This what like in the times when I was quiet, because that was also mostly what this was about, was being quiet too for like a 24-hour span. You know what I mean? So the times when was quiet, I'm sorry, that threw me off. What about the times when I was quiet? Mm. Oh, that's it. Okay. I would hum a like to let me stay quiet. You get what I'm saying? So like don't you know it's hard like to be quiet sometimes. So I instead of saying something I would so this is the truth. These are the things we didn't think about, but this is that moment. So here we go. If the electricity went out, I want to say make sure you have a good support system so that the first few days could be like a barbecue. You know what I mean? And you have a now I see why they seek out groups because without it, the isolated really is going to be the first to yeah, you could see it. You could see it. You could see how the quiet and the isolation of it without the ability to get music involved, and if you don't know an instrument, you really are in a moment of you better get your wrist right because this is your only outside connection or towards imagination and different things, especially if it's something like a Sabbath, which would be a okay. I hope that went past my house. Yeah. This is something like a Sabbath where you're commanded to stay in the house, like a 3 days of darkness kind of moment. We're not ready. We're not ready. Okay. So oh, this is one of another. So this is what I was gonna tell y'all. This is funny though, but it's true. I scared myself to death, y'all. Let me tell you. So I'm sitting there in a quiet moment, right? I'm sitting there in a quiet moment, and I hear something that sound like I don't even know, like digital. I don't even know. And then I'm like, no, that's not possible because everything is unplugged. What am I hearing? You know what I mean? So I'm literally like, oh shoot, I ain't never heard voices. Okay, even though I speak to God, it ain't in a hearing voices kind of way. So I was kind of scared, like what I just heard. What was that sound, y'all? Let me tell y'all something. I thought I was going schizophrenic or something. Like I'm walking around looking. What is this? What's this sound? I know I hear something like dee dee doop doop deep doop dee doop doop. You know what I mean? Like digital. Y'all, it was a bird. It was a bird. I had to stand like when I finally found it. I had to stand and look. Cause and then think about the fact that birds really do be imitating stuff. He probably fly over to a factory or something, and that's the sound that's there. But so don't be tripped out if like in the silence you can hear things. You know what I mean? Don't let it trip you out. Cause that's what like I had to tell myself. Nope, nah, nah. Oh, but let me tell you why. Cause while I was in my quiet time, let me tell you what I learned. We have dominion over the aliens. Yes, go read Ezra. It says that we got dominion. Like it go through every part of nature. Then it says the seas. Then it says something else. Then it says and dominion over everything that passed through the seas. And basically how God gave man the entire earth and that we got dominion over everything that moveth on this earth. So it was really like that was cool. You know what I mean? For God to say like really no weapon because we even have dominion over the aliens. Like, so now I won't discriminate against the aliens. I was going to discriminate if I, because I wasn't about to. But now, okay, I got dominion over them. So the only thing they can do is what I say do. So that's cool. You know what I mean? So that was a good one. What else I see? Oh, let me tell you what else. Uh, I got a brand new Bible that I'm about to send to my daughter, right? And at first I was leaving it brand new, but then I thought about my grandmother, right? So that's another thing. Had a lot of time to think about stuff, right? So I thought about my grandmother's Bible and how the little writings in it, the little notes you find, those are the things that matter. So I marked up this brand new Bible for my daughter, and I want to tell y'all to do that for y'all kids. Do Bible studies in it where you just underline stuff and highlight stuff that will draw their attention to that area, because like almost like giving somebody a research paper of saying this is what I've seen. And now my daughter's gonna read that and the things that I wanted to teach her that she might not been able to get direct, like, because you never a prophet in your own land. So it'll be right there. Like you can't deny it. It's right there. And it'll draw her attention to it. You know what I mean? So that's the idea I came up with. Because at first I was just looking at the Bible, but then I was like, oh, don't mess it up. But then it was like, this is a Bible. This is something she gonna keep forever. So I would say mothers, if you got 3, 4 kids, like that was my first of three Bibles. I better get started with another one, studying it and hand it to them, study it and hand it to them. And when you gone, when we dead and gone, they'll have that in their time of need. They'll see handwritten letters from you and notes and all that kind of stuff. That's good. What else? What else? So yeah, the bird scared me. I thought I was schizophrenic, but I wasn't. It was a bird. I found it. It was like, what's going on? Oh gosh. The silence was deafening a little bit. Like, you could hear your body. You could hear I haven't heard, like, I felt like I was, when you was like 5 years old and you listen to your body. You know what I mean? You hear your stomach rumble. You listen for your heartbeat. You look for your. You said, fam said it was a crow. I don't know if it was a crow. No, it wasn't a crow. It was It was brown and little though. I don't know what they call them. Maybe a swallow or something like that. I don't know what it was called because it was making a digital noise. It was like doo 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 doo. It was scaring me to death. And then, I heard some other noises after that. But then I was like, nope, nope, that's just part of hearing life. You know what I mean? So I told myself I'm not gonna get scared about it. But I wanted to at first, but no, I'm not gonna get scared about it. We got dominion over it all. Like I felt like I won $1 billion when I read that. Like, oh, dominion of anything that passed through the seas too. Oh, that's why we could tell them to back up in the name of Christ, and they got to back up. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So what else happened? Then oh, this is bad. But so when it got pretty bad, that part about recognizing that music was gone cuz that brought on paralysis. You know what I mean? You know how we would have scrolling paralysis? It brought on a different type of paralysis. It just, because I was so used to using music to motivate me to do things to where it just brought on a different type of paralysis. So that's something to prepare for, though, because that's not something you want to happen to you at that time, right? When it's the time of of real despair. I'll tell you this. Oh, let me tell y'all something. He is on me. I'm telling y'all, he is reprimanding me and making a way at the same time. So y'all know I've been hanging out with Auntie Rita lately, right? And the gold that I buy to put in the candles is $15 on Amazon. So we're at a store, like it's called, I don't know, Borlis or something like that. It's like TJ Maxx, right? But they have the gold on in the women's serum sections, right? And so I'm like, wow, okay, cool. But it's only $6. So it was literally like, because I had ran out of materials. That's why I ain't really said nothing. Because I couldn't have even made them before now, anyway. So, but then it was like, in that moment, God put them right on, put the ingredients right on the shelf at a discounted price. So that was helpful. That was really, really helpful. But yeah, in a time such as this, that candle gonna come in handy. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that candle gonna feel like for because it's frankincense, myrrh, and gold, and the way we studied it out, like you gotta go study out the candle yourself. But the way we studied it out, it was like having God with you in the worst time. Yeah, that's the reason why I said y'all pray for grace. Pray. Now, I'm not going to say it ain't going to happen, but I'm going to say pray that God will give us grace, that the effects are not as, like that we're prepared for it, that give us grace, help us prepare for it. Like if it must be so, Father, help us prepare for it so that when the time comes, we can move into it gracefully. You know what I mean? Pray for grace so that we can move with grace. Because stuff that I never thought about as being an issue. Because we were kids and we lived without cell phones and internet before, but it's been that many years since we didn't have cell phones and internet, and our mental muscle memory, it makes it very, like, do you know how many times I picked up my phone that was dead and tried to get it to I did, y'all. He was sitting on the counter. I picked it up like, and I sat there like, but yeah, the muscle memory is real, though. And then, but I'll also say this: start working out who your support system is gonna be too for a time such as that. Like if you are completely alone in solitude, start looking to see who you're going to connect with, because yeah, now I get why you have to have some type of connection during that time, because it would be like a barbecue. You know what I mean? It would be like hanging out with friends. But if you are completely alone, it would be, you better be Cinderella. Go play with the chickens. That's what I did. I went and looked at the chickens. I played with the dog. But other than that, it's very important. That's something I got to be honest. I'm your girl, right? Your girl ain't going, just because y'all could laugh at me and say, oh, she ain't got nobody out there, whatever. Who cares? At this point, I'm caring about the least of these. Like, and if I'm the least of these, then I got to tell y'all that's the least of these like me. Yeah, start looking for your support system. Start making sure that you got people close by to interact with. Now I see why they. Now, don't get me wrong, I got people, Auntie Rita and Rex right next door, but I see why they made it to where we don't know our neighbors anymore, because that's going to aid in a lot of. I feel bad for our elderly people during a time such as that. Yeah, so don't forget about your elderly people during a time such as that. Like, go seek them out. Even if your family is the one that got all, you're in your 40s and 50s and you got it all together, but still seek out somebody elderly in your family and bring them in, because that's going to be a rough time. That's going to be a very rough time. What else did I learn? Mm. Books, books, books. Like, think about if I didn't have this book. No, no, no. Think about if I didn't have a book when the internet and the electricity went out. And you can't move around. Don't get me wrong, you gonna clean up and do all the cleaning up you could do, but at some point, this is gonna be important. Make sure that you got good books too, because this wasn't a good book, y'all. This was a horrible book. I'm so mad at them. And look, I had a feeling that they were like some type of a type book. Like, I don't even think she. I think they've lied about who this woman is. Yep, I said it. I think they lied about it because, y'all, when you discern writing, and it ain't even the fact that she talks with this, that the whole book is written in, like, if you were spelling out Ebonics, but it's off. Like, it's off. And then you did all that Ebonic talking, like, to the point where we barely can read the doggone book. But you make sure you spell out the word nigger every time. Man. And then she speaks about her husband was a secret society, like he had a secret society's type of funeral. I don't know. This felt like, remember when I went to that I'm really mad about it because it's actually my favorite movie. You know what I mean? I'm really mad about it. But remember when I went to that museum and I said, "Oh, this is so distasteful." That's what this book is. This book is distasteful. And I'm sorry, God rest her soul. And if she's still alive, hey, she know I'm telling the truth. She know what she did. She know what she did. I read it. And that's, some people got discernment in different things. I got discernment in words, and this wasn't right. This felt like some type of spell. And look at it. It was 75 years, right? Look at that. And everything coming up 75 and stuff like that. So this is not a recommended read, by the way. But I'm going to finish it because it was my favorite movie. I want to see how much more different is it than the movie. It's a lot different than the movie. And, I don't know. I might not finish it because it do feel kind of spellish. I don't like it. Look, I don't like it. But make sure you got some books. Make sure you got some books, some coloring books, some things that could occupy your mind in the downtime of the silence. Remember, music gone. Y'all forgot. Music gone. The How you gonna get it? And they took instruments, like they made only the elite kids get to go to orchestra and all that kind of stuff. Even within our own communities, only the ones whose parents had enough money to go maintain the instrument got the kids in the thing, right? So instruments gone. Everything auto-tuned. Music, I'm telling y'all, that's gonna be a hard one for people. That's gonna be that was the hardest pill to swallow of the whole thing, was realizing that it was gone, though. No, it was gone. No, I ain't got no record player. I don't have CDs. And even if I had a record player, like, it would have to be one that had to be wound up or something. So that's why I say the words gone. So that's something for y'all to think about. All right, so what else? I think that's it. Um, yeah, I did spend a lot of time worshiping and gratitude, cuz that's another thing. I read something while studying. It said We might afflict ourselves in order to seek your presence. It was something I read. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't go all off doing that crazy stuff. People be like hurting themselves. No, I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about like that moment when this wasn't something I have to do. You know what I mean? That's the when I tell people I did this or I was gonna do this. A lot of people say because of Christ or because of the New Testament, you don't have to do certain things. But I want you to know this was an opportunity to do it. Like that's we got to start changing our mind frame a little bit so that we don't just compare on because that's what's going on. Everyone's comparing their concept of God or the way we should treat God or the way he should have been treated. Instead, just accept the fact that that's like I know I don't have to. This was a want to, and it wasn't in comparison to if you wanted to or not. This was what he called me to do, you know? And I'm enjoying every moment of it. So I was grateful for the opportunity because it showed me we are not ready. Repent, pray, ask God for a way out. Get ready, use this experience to say, okay, I will say this. It's something that you should probably practice. I see that the feast days might have been practice. This might have been God's way of saying, okay, practice for a time when something like this is coming. Because if I had done all the feast day stuff, it would have been easier, you know what I mean? Because on the feast day, they cooking most of the time. They got things to do. They got a whole busy little schedule when it comes to the feast day. You know what I mean? So don't think I'm saying I'm saying it's something like you have to do. I'm saying it's something, I look like God prepared a way and said, this is what we get to do. You know what I mean? And it seems easy enough, to where you won't be just sitting there. Like I said, I found times where I done read the Bible all I could stand for a second. I done read that book all I could stand for a second. I'm a smoker, so I done had a cigarette or two. And so all you can do, if he told you not to like clean and stuff, this wasn't about clean. This was about sitting with God. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to do daily work. Ain't that what it says? Don't do no regular work. So I didn't want to do that kind of thing. Um, yeah, it gets like this. So this is something funny though. So at that point, guess what I realized? I understood what's his name from the movie Don't Look Up when he said a moment of silence for stuff. I understood him. At that moment, it was literally like, ooh, oh, I get it. I get it. We got to have a moment of silence for stuff because stuff gone. Like, it's gone. Stuff gone if the electricity go out like that, But it's the benefits of stuff. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, when he said it, it was just so arrogant and like, ugh, I can't stand you for saying that. But when I was in the moment, it was literally like, oh, music. Oh, be the privilege of sitting down playing with my phone and playing with a game on there or I've been watching Quantum Leap. Like I was binge watching Quantum Leap for the past week or so. Um, Being able to put that on in the background, like I never knew how much of an impact, even though that stuff got in my way, like it felt like it got in my way. Now I see things a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like preparing a household. Now I see why they work all week. Cause now I'm pumped for work tomorrow. I am pumped to get up and start doing some stuff and getting next week's moment ready for sitting quiet, or if I decide to do it again, I am gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do it better. Like now, I'm gonna build on it. Like let's see how can I make it not be the long. Now I'll tell you this: it was the longest 24 hours in my life. Oh, and I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know what time it was. Did you write during your wait? Did I write during that? No, I didn't. I didn't write, but that would have been a good idea, you know. But I didn't know what time it was. That's another one, y'all. We need clocks, like battery operated or wind up clocks. Or make a sundial in your yard. Now I'm making a sundial. That's something I'm about to learn how to do and make a sundial. Just to have an idea of what time it was, you know. There was a moment there where I had total time blindness where I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what time it is, you know, and it just made the day the longest day in the world. That's another thing to prepare for, y'all. And if you ADHD, try to find like ways to. I will tell you this: if you're ADHD, I'll tell you this, okay? Remember when you were younger, if you were anything like me, remember when you were younger and you could let your mind drift. Like I did find myself drifting more comfortably, if that makes sense. No, meaning because there's no sound, everything is silent. There was nothing to do, so I would walk over there and then I'd look at something, pick it up and take it over there. Like I felt there was a moment where I know y'all got to hear this though. If you're ADHD, you might understand. Like I had to let myself do it. You know, how you're supposed to move around in a certain, you're supposed to clean up something in a certain kind of way. But this didn't feel like cleanup. It was like, there's a scarf. Pick up the scarf. Where does the scarf go? Why is the scarf here? And then it was like I was ping ponged around the house. But it was good. That's what I meant. It was good. It didn't feel like how it felt before, where it felt like I was aimlessly being distracted around the house. No, it just felt like I was moving more to a natural rhythm. You know what I mean? But then I'll tell you this too. The last one, y'all. That paralysis part got real too. That where I found myself just like, so keep moving. Allow the bing 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 bing. Allow it. Real talk. Allow it. That helped. Once I allowed the bing bing bing, let me tell you, I done got some candles done. Which that was a good thing to do with a Sabbath situation, you know what I mean? So I wasn't doing no work, but I got some candles done. I brought in the chickens that I had to. He gave them to me. They was free. I had to bring them in. But you get what I'm saying? It didn't feel like a aimless day because I moved around. I allowed the boom bing 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 bing. I allowed it. It was better than the moments when I was like, you get what I'm saying? So like in this moment where I'm sitting here like this, I'm like, I could throw that away. And then I'd throw it away. And then I'd end up over there. And it was a good thing. And then over there, I ended up over there. You know what I mean? So allow that to happen. All right. That's everything, y'all. I hope that helps. Wait, what you saying? Uh, said, get yourself a watch. I have 3 battery operated clocks. Some people don't like them because the secondhand ticks. Yeah, that ticking might be a little bit rough. But I'll tell you this. No, that ticking might help, tell you the truth. There is a sound when it's completely quiet that I notice that sound fixes. Real talk. It's like a white noise sounds like a energy, electricity, your own body's electromagnetic energy or whatever. So it's like this type of thing, but it's like white noise sound. But that's like when I notice the birds and stuff, because it would like, I don't know, other sounds take down that So I could see a tick might, like, TikTok might help with that high frequency feeling. You know what I mean? Like, which, praise God, being a high frequency person is a good thing, but it does come with a low hum, a low rumble. You know what I mean? I noticed that. And sound, outside sound seems to deaden it a little bit, you know? All right. So I feel good about this. We'll let this be a short video. This was 40 minutes long. But I think we're not ready. Repent. Repent. Because if not, then yeah, take a moment for stuff. Like, take a moment of silence and pray. Because it is, I see. I see what they've done, you know. All right, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. I'm about to watch some TV. I got to get back to my quantum leap. But yeah, get ready. All right, talk to you guys soon. All right, love you. Thanks.